I think it's time for our opening speaker. It is time. Let me tell you a little bit about Matina Jewell. Major Matina Jewell grew up in the hinterland of the Byron Bay area and joined the Army at age 17. During her 15-year military career, Matina served on 5 missions and earned 9 military service and war medals. She's the only Australian to receive 2 Republic of Lebanon War Medals for acts of bravery on the battlefield and being wounded in combat. She completed the physically demanding Navy divers course. She served with the American Navy SEALs. She's tracked down warlords in the Solomon Islands. She's fast roped from helicopters and boarded smuggler ships in the Arabian Gulf, and was posted as a peacekeeper with the United Nations in Syria and Lebanon. Now medically retired, Matina served on the Prime Ministerial Advisory Council and continues to champion change for our injured war veterans. Amongst her many honorary roles, Matina is a founding ambassador for Project Thankful, which is a movement partnered with the UN to help empower women and children globally. Matina's featured on the ABC's Australian Story and is a best-selling author, and her family are actually heavily involved in the CFA and SES, so Matina has an understanding of the important role completed by volunteers in our community. Her life story is currently being made into a feature film, and this process, as you can imagine, takes its time. It is taking a while because Matina can't decide whether Reese Witherspoon, Scarlett Johansson, Charlize Theron, Kate Blanchett, or Margot Robbie should play her in the film. I think Margot Robbie is the front runner. She's had a painting of her entered in the Archibald Prize. She's a very proud mum with 2 young daughters who, Matina says, make commanding 500 soldiers seem damn easy. She joins us this morning to share her insights on resilience and leadership from some of the toughest environments on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Matina Jewell.
So the second situation that I also think equipped me to survive Lebanon was a great period of learning that came about when I was learning to fast rope out of helicopters. Now, fast roping is a special technique. It is designed to get you from a helicopter down to the ground in ultra quick time. And in order to do this, there's simply no safety equipment whatsoever. So if you look really closely at this photograph, you'll see that there's not even a rappelling harness. There is no great big safety net that's going to break your fall if you decide to really, really stuff this one up. But instead, you have your hands and your feet on the rope using a special technique, and it's designed to control that very, very rapid descent down to the ground, or in my case, onto smuggler ships in the North Arabian Gulf. Now, because of the safety considerations associated with this particular activity, this is normally only ever performed in the Australian Army by our Special Forces soldiers. So it was something for me as a female logistics officer. I never expected to be asked to do this during my career. But special waivers were signed off by the then Chief of the Defence Force, by General Peter Cosgrove, allowing me to do this on operations in the Middle East. Now, for me, learning to fast rope, this was not only a huge physical challenge in the sense that I just had to have that strength, the endurance to be able to hold myself on that rope, dressed in body armour and carrying weapons. But more importantly, this was a huge mental challenge for me because I am absolutely terrified of heights. And so the whole notion of jumping out of a perfectly safe helicopter just using a piece of rope, seriously, that seemed really stupid in my mind. And so in many ways, I had to overcome my own fears. In this case, my fear of heights, in order to qualify in this skill and therefore at least be able to take up my appointment as leader of the assault team. But I did manage to do that. That is actually me hanging on that rope underneath that helicopter. And I guess what I took away from that experience of learning to fast rope, I found that it's actually natural. It is 100% normal for all of us to feel this sensation, the emotion of fear, when we're in the face of a new challenge, or even if we're going through those periods of very intense and significant changes. But if we can accept that the best learning opportunities, they tend to arise out of these types of situations where we are being challenged. In fact, we're being pushed outside of our comfort zone and we're challenged to try something new. And if at the same time we can kind of reduce those boundaries, those limitations, you know what, each and every single one of us here this morning, we are all guilty of placing limitations upon ourselves because we think we're only capable of a certain amount of achievement. But if we can push those limitations aside and give ourselves permission to at least just have a go, just have a crack at something new, try and remove the pressure of success and failure. Because I don't know about you guys, but for me, my failures have embedded very deeply. I remember the lessons from those failures for a really, really long time. So long as we can have a go, then we're always going to learn something from those experiences, even if we don't have the success that we'd hoped for.